So a little note about leg driving tension. Basically, I like to keep tension through my legs and through my body throughout the lift, probably to about 80%. So when I'm setting up, I'll put myself into position. When my back's set, my legs are already tight. I'm driving my knees out, my hips and my glutes are active, my legs are tight. Unracking the bar, my legs are tight the whole time. So I'm pulling the bar into me. So I'm about 80% tension through my legs and through my body there. As I'm pressing, you're applying that last bit of force, which is going to help pop the bar off your chest back into position. So you're not necessarily thinking about throwing your hips into the air, just driving yourself backwards. If you're finding that your hips are popping off at the bench, then you need to be able to set yourself up tighter in your legs, so your ass can't basically fly off the bench. So I would recommend bringing your feet back. Basically what that's going to look like, if we go through the setup, head off, got my grip, my feet, pull myself through, upper back's tight, unwrap the bar, my legs are tight here, so I'm driving my knees out, keeping my hips and my quads tight. Take a big breath, extend with the elbows, pull the bar out. So my legs are already tight here, so I'm going to pull the bar in and just apply a little bit more pressure to help pop that bar through. So the bench arch is quite a controversial topic, saying typically larger guys can't arch or get into as good of a position as a smaller athlete, but we do our best. So basically what the arch is doing is just keeping yourself basically out of injury, shortening the range of motion, potentially making the press and the lift a little bit easier, but just preventing injury. So by arching, by lifting up your rib cage, depressing your shoulders, when the bar's in the bottom position, your pecs aren't under as much strain as they would be if you were benching with a flat back and either of your shoulders. So if you were completely flat backed, then you got to think that bar's got to come all the way down. So your elbow is traveling all the way past your body to get that bar to touch. That's a lot of stress here. It's a lot of stress here. With heavy weights, you're putting yourself at risk for potential pec tears or shoulder injuries. So basically foot placement can be a personal thing. Some people prefer to bench with their heels down. Some people prefer to bench with their heels up on the balls of their feet. And you will see some lifters with crazy arches go as far as basically on the end of their toes. The key thing to remember is whatever you start with is how you want to finish your press. You don't want to be wiggling your feet around. You don't want to be setting up when the bar's already in your hands. So pick one and commit to it. Ideally, I would say everybody should learn heels down first with flat feet, just because it's more stable and it's safer. Some powerlifting federations also require that you have to bench with your heels down, completely flat-footed. So I think it's very valuable for most people to also learn how to bench without an excessive arch through their lower body and with their feet up, and bench basically just using their upper body. Because if you can still maintain a tight upper back and an arch through your thoracic spine, through your upper back and your shoulders, and maintain that position, you're just in a much better, safer position. When you do put your feet down, you're going to be stronger and more stable. Everyone should learn to bench with their feet up, be it with the legs straight out, aka a Larsen press, with their feet on the edge of the bench or up in the air. It's important to be able to stabilize your upper body and bench basically with your legs up. Create more stability and also puts you in a stronger position when your feet are down. And it's important just to feel your body. You know how the balance feels, you know where the bar's going, you're in complete control the whole time. And it's better for hypertrophy work. So if you're close to a competition, bench with your feet down, bench with an arch, and with a pause. That's how you're going to be competing, so that's how you want to be able to do it. Off-season training, it's important to keep your upper body strong and keep your feet up, and it's going to put you in a better position when you come in to peak for a heavy lift. So some of the most, common issues that I do see when people are benching, particularly when they're getting up close to their max, is dumping the bar. People will come down and they're able to bring the bar down controlled to get to the last couple of inches and they're just hesitant. Dump it, heave it straight back up. If you're pressing in competition, you need to be pressing with a pause, controlling the weight the whole way. And it's something like the spotter press is definitely going to help you with that. So learn how to control the bar all the way down. Don't lose them last, 4 inches and let the bar control you. Stay in control of the weight, and your technique will thank you later with a bigger bench. So you'll also see some people that prefer to bench within a straight line, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I myself, like we said about the 4 and the 8 o'clock with the arms, bringing it down, flaring slightly, that allows me to use more pecs. If someone's got extremely long arms, maybe benching with a different technique. If they want to bench within a straight line, keeping your elbows tucked the whole way, using your triceps a hell of a lot more. You're not necessarily flaring out into your pecs, benching like a bodybuilder style, you know. You'll see bodybuilders benching with a big flare, bringing it down, using as much fibers within the pecs, trying to just build the chest. It's not necessarily the best way to get strong. To get strong, you want to use all the muscles and the technique available to you. That does not suit you and you feel that's not a good position, that's not strong, or it gives you issues, or maybe you have had an injury in the past, you find a way around it. If you have to bench flared and stay flared, there's no concrete right or wrong answer. Basically just trying to teach good technique and use every trick that's available to you. So if it's one of them, you're benching on your own, you don't have a spotter, maybe don't use a bench press like this. If you have a rack available to you where you can, you know, set up a pin. So if you were to fail a bench, you bring the bar down, you can't get the rep, all you've got to do is collapse your arch, the bar's on the pin, you can escape. You don't have to do the roll of shame. Again, you're benching on your own. Maybe it's a good idea not to use clips, you know, that's very, very last kind of thing you want to say, but if you get stuck and you've got clips on, you can't really dump the weight either side. It's going to pull you one way or the other, but you're not going to be trapped and you're not going to, you know, choke yourself under a bar.